Why are young Black couples not getting married? Specifically, why are young Black men not asking?
I think the problem is the men are not asking these women to marry them.
Why are older men refusing to walk down the aisle? Why are women who have it all still alone? It's not an accident, it's not a phase, it's the consequence of rebellion. Today, you're getting a masterclass. By the end of this video, you'll fully understand why men stop marrying American women and why it's too late to fix it for most of them.
Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is Passport Nomad, and before we move on with today's content, I'm going to ask you at this time if you could please hit subscribe, like, and smash that notification bell so you can keep up on all my newest posted content. Today what we're going to be talking about is the subject of why men in America, usually Western men, but specifically also including Black American men, why we're deciding not to marry, or how older men in their 40s, 50s, even the younger men, were choosing to not get married so quickly anymore or marry at all. Some men are just focused on their goals and their dreams and their ambitions now, and building themselves. That's what I basically think, and everything, and holding out for the right person. But there's many reasons behind this, and the women were asking why. Well, let's take a look at what's going on in social media through a couple of these clips here.
Why are young Black couples not getting married? Specifically, why are young Black men not asking?
The modern man there's a lot less incentive on getting married nowadays. Many would argue that in the modern society, the man stands more to lose, because you understand, and this is a philosophy that I wrote when I was in high school. We look at women as investments. So a woman, a real man, like a real elite top tier man, we look at women as investments, not as in, what's in it for us, give and take. It's an emotional investment. It's a spiritual investment. Women look at men for a different type of, not so much investment. They're looking for, you're more based off of safety, security. You're in that realm of like, make me feel good, make me feel safe, make me confident that I made the right choice. We're generally looking at women as, we bring them a seed and we just need you to help it grow. That's it. So when men say, you're not supporting me, they're basically saying, hey, I have a seed here. Can I get some water? So in the modern society, I think why men aren't asking is because there's fears of having that failed return on investment.
I think the problem is the men are not asking these women to marry them. I don't know many women who've not helped a struggling man, who's been in a relationship with a man who's helped them. Because most of the women I know, if you're with someone, you're with them wholeheartedly and you're going to go to bat for them. But he's just not getting on his knee and asking her to marry him. So at what point, we talk like marriage is in the female's hands, and that's not the truth.
No, she don't want to get married. Why would you ask a woman who doesn't want to get married to be married? If when you pick yourself and you end up being a 304, you end up being sexually liberated, you end up saying you're a single mother, you end up talking about you traumatized and broken and unhappy, you start neglecting yourself.
My body, my choice.
You start being destructively prideful, you start becoming a Christian, and then you somehow forget about the man, and then you have this statue that they build and that makes women promote being the worst of yourself. Why? What would promote men to get married with women today if they don't stay loyal to monogamy? Because tell me, what age are women asking to be wives? You're not asking to be a wife at 18. You're not asking to be a wife at 25. You're not asking to be a wife at 30, even though most women do get married at 25, 29. But even if men do marry you, women still leave. So if we're not rewarded for being loyal to you and committing to you and being righteous brothers, and you still leave, why should a man marry you if you don't even stay loyal to monogamy? Y'all have mastered being by yourself and not wanting to be married. So why should a man keep compromising himself and his heart and keep wanting to be with women who are not loyal to monogamy?
last clip was from the Aklan Ali show. And brother, he made a couple of real good points there. Of course, I'm not going to give my opinion and thoughts on this. I want to hear it from you guys. Please, do you agree with him? Do you understand what he was saying? Do you agree with her? What are your opinions? Leave them in the comments. I'm going to move on to the next video because there's a lot to cover here.
4 times divorce, 4 times. Let's see, let's go. You tell me, what do you want to know?
What is the most toxic thing that you've ever done?
Okay, let's do this. All right, take them to court and then get a good divorce lawyer, of course. Take them for half of the retirement, take them half of their property, and then fight them for higher child support, okay? And a couple of years from now, hit you up for more child support every 3 years. Every 3 years, you go up from maybe 200 to 300 to 400 to 500, you bring it up to $2,000 per child. Per child. But I got one child right here. Kaylin right here. Her daddy paying child support for her, of course, it always is.
Question. You ever hear women ask, why don't men want to get married anymore?
Is it just me, or you be talking to somebody or even dating somebody, right? And be so in love, like just love this motherfucker. See absolutely no wrong in them, just love them. Then one day you're just like, I don't like you no more. You could be having a good day. And I just be like, I don't like you no more. I don't like the person you are. I don't like the way you move. I don't like the way you think. I just don't like you. So I want to leave. Just like that. Like, I want to go. I don't want to talk anymore. Is that just me?
You can't make this shit up.
These are 4 reasons why you should reconsider marriage. Let's get it. 1, look at the fucking numbers, bro. Fuck your family and friends. The up-to-date divorce rate in America is 56%, with 80% being filed by women. And you know what's crazy? It would really be 70%, right? Because 10 to 50% of couples, right? They stay married unhappily just to keep the family afloat. You know, it's cheaper to keep her, you know? 2, and this for the high earners, right? Business owners, 6 figures, millions, right? A lot of y'all meet y'all wives after your success was already made, right? So guess what? When she divorce your ass, right? Because look at the stats, right? When she divorced your ass, she's walking away with half of your assets and money just for having a meow between her legs and looking pretty. She didn't work for this shit. So if she wasn't with you shooting in the gym before your success, don't fucking marry her. 3, you're most likely in the first 3 years, right? The sex is still good. You know, she's doing things for you, things of that nature, right? But guess what? When you're falling, it feels like you're flying until reality hits. All that shit slows down eventually in most cases. Again, look at the stats. I ain't just making up numbers. Man lie, woman lie, numbers don't. 4, every, if not almost every married man I know that been married for 10 plus years, they always tell me, don't do it, bro. You know, jokingly, with a little smirk, a little laugh, but let me tell you something, bro. Every joke has the truth behind it, like a hating motherfucker, right? Come on, bro, you gotta tighten the fuck up and think with your fucking brain, you know, the head up here and not the head down there. Now, I'm not saying don't settle down and have a family, right? Still be a leader, protector, and be there for your girl or fiance financially, right? But don't sign that contract. And if that's not enough for her, then she's marrying you for the wrong intentions and the wrong things. I'm gonna leave it at this, right? Look at the numbers. There's 3 rings: the engagement ring, the wedding ring, and the suffering. Stop being a...
Why are older men refusing to walk down the aisle? Why are women who have it all still alone? It's not an accident, it's not a phase, it's the consequence of rebellion. When women abandon their feminine nature, they also abandon the very thing that made marriage attractive. Femininity isn't weakness. Femininity is the soft power that inspires leadership, protection, and provision from a man. When you remove femininity, you remove the magnetism that pulls a man into commitment. Modern women were taught to act like a man, compete with a man, and fight men. Now they're confused why men no longer want to marry them. You can't lead a woman who sees you as an opponent. You cannot protect a woman who sees you as competition. When a woman's spirit becomes combative, a man's instinct to cover her dies. Men aren't avoiding marriage because they fear commitment. They're avoiding marriage because they refuse to fight their own wives every day inside their own homes. Submission is no longer seen as an act of love. It's seen as a conditional trade deal. If you make 6 figures, if you buy me bags, if you give me a soft life, then I'll submit. That's not submission, that's extortion. Submission is not earned. Submission is chosen. If a woman waits until she receives everything she wants before respecting a man, she never respected him. She respected the benefits. Men finally figured it out. They finally understood. A woman who needs to be bridled into loyalty will betray you when the gifts stop flowing. You can't have the benefits of marriage without the responsibilities. But that's exactly what modern women are trying to do. They want the ring, the wedding, the Instagram pictures, the honeymoon. But what they don't want is the submission, the service, the sacrifice, the loyalty. You cannot have a strong marriage when one side thinks it's optional to obey God's order. You can't build a home when one partner is committed and the other is entitled. Marriage is not a subscription service. You don't cancel because you're temporarily unhappy. American women destroyed marriage by trying to turn it into a me-first lifestyle. And men? Men left the building the moment they realized marriage no longer made them leaders. It made them sponsors. American culture no longer honors wives. It honors rebellion. Music, media, influencers, all telling women be rebellious, be independent, be boss babes, be sexually liberated. Marriage? That's seen as slavery now. When rebellion becomes a woman's identity, submission becomes her enemy. And no man marries an enemy. You can't build a life with a woman who celebrates betrayal. You can't build a future with a woman who despises order. The women screaming, submission is slavery, are the same women crying at 40 with no husband, no covering, and no legacy. They glorify rebellion. Now they're choking on the loneliness it produced. A man's marriage is the most expensive investment he will ever make. And in America, the return on investment is trash. Divorce rates are high, alimony is weaponized, child support is extorted, false accusations are normalized. Marrying the wrong woman isn't just emotional suicide, it's financial suicide. Why would a man risk half his life's work for a woman who doesn't even believe she needs to be a wife? Marriage to a rebellious woman is like building a mansion on quicksand. No matter how much money you pour into it, it's doomed to collapse. Good men finally understood. It's better to die single with peace than to live married and enslaved. Modern women are proudly independent until it's time to pay bills alone, raise kids alone, and die alone. They brag about not needing a man, being strong, doing everything by themselves. But their funerals are filled with regret, not grandchildren. God didn't design women to live and die alone. Independence was never the goal. Legacy was. When you reject covering, you reject family. When you reject family, you reject your own future. Men see the warning signs now. When a woman is addicted to her independence, marriage to her is not a partnership. It's a fight for relevance. And no man fights for relevance in his own home. In today's dating market, too many women aren't looking for husbands. They're looking for saviors. They want men to fix their finances, heal their trauma, raise their children, pay their debts, and still be romantic on top of it. A wife is a blessing. A rescue project is a curse. Men are not emotional rehab centers. Men are not financial bailouts. Men are not child support upgrades. Marriage is supposed to multiply peace, not chaos. Good men aren't rejecting marriage because they're afraid of love. They're rejecting marriage because women stop bringing love to the table and start bringing liabilities. Feminism told women, men are the problem. Marriage is oppression. Independence is power. Now those same women are crying for companionship in their 40s. Meanwhile, the very men they despise have moved on, built wealth, found peace, and reclaimed their power. You can't believe men are trash for 20 years and then beg them for commitment when your cheeks start sagging. You can't mock leadership for 20 years and beg for a covering when loneliness sets in. Feminism sold women a one-way ticket to empowerment. It forgot to mention it was a solo trip. Men stopped marrying because feminism taught women how to be everything except wives.
That was Darwin McPherson, and you can check him out on social media if you look him up and on his content. He talks about a whole long slew of issues and topics, and he makes a lot of sense and a lot of good points. That's not all. We've already heard from the brothers and sisters, but it doesn't just apply to just black people. This is going on with Western society, period. So let's hear what someone else has to say. And if you agree about them, please let me know your thoughts.
We know facts. Marriage is overwhelmingly unsuccessful.
Yep.
It is way more dangerous than skydiving.
Yep.
Yes, you die from the skydiving, but the chances of a catastrophic skydiving incident is like 0.0003.
Very low.
And one where you die is 0.00001. It's like very limited, the chances of dying from skydiving.
What do you think the chances of your marriage not working out is?
And that's why this whole thing's about to fall apart.
It's like very limited, the chances of dying from skydiving. Whereas the chances of divorce, again, 56% divorce rate. How many stay together who are unhappy and they just stay together because they don't give up half their stuff or for religious reasons or whatever? This is a technology with an unbelievably bad failure rate.
Yep.
More people die from marriage or skydiving?
Well, I think more people wish they were dead from marriage than skydiving. I think most people's sense of self, many people's sense of self dies as part of an unhappy marriage.
So fast.
Like, it's not a question of will you die. It's that you're alive and not living your life in a way that's enjoyable or in a way that's authentic to who you are.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are doing that as a function of the choice that they made of marriage. And again, I'm not saying don't get married. But what I'm saying is, when someone says, I'm getting married, why is it impolite to say, why? Why?
Exactly.
You're about to do something incredibly dangerous that fails so much of the time. Why not just say, why? I'm not saying, why would you do that? It's stupid. I'm saying, why? Because most people's answer doesn't make any sense.
It doesn't.
Well, because, I don't want to be alone.
Think, Mark, think!
You don't need to be married to not be alone.
Wait, you have to get married to not be alone? Join a church group. I don't know. Join a baking squad. Join a softball team. You won't be alone. What does that mean? Well, I want to have, regular sex. Okay, I don't know that getting married is the solution to that.
You heard him. He said it. Please leave all your thoughts in the comments on this topic. I'm going to make this a part 2, maybe a part 3 series, because this is a very big topic. A lot of discussions, a lot of explaining is going on. But like I said, the whole thing is here. I want us to interact with each other, the audience to interact, talk amongst yourselves, agree, disagree. What do you feel? That's about it for me. Stay tuned and look out for part 2 or part 3, as long as this is going to get. But thanks for dropping by. Make sure to like, subscribe, share, and ring that notification bell to keep up on my newest posted content. This is Passport Nomad, signing off.